This is chapter number 6, New Questions and Ideas. The discussion starts with Angha. Angha is going for a school trip. She will be taking the train from Pune, that is in Maharashtra, and she will go to Banaras, Varanasi, in Uttar Pradesh. And her mother, she comes to station to drop her, and she says to the teacher that please tell them about Buddha and take them to Sarnath. Buddha, Sarnath, we are going to see today. First thing is, this story is about Buddha. What does Buddha means? Buddha in Hindi, Buddhi means mind. If someone is, you say, oh, you are Buddhiman, that means you are saying you are intelligent. This Buddha or Buddha has come from where? The god which we are talking about, his name was Siddhartha. Siddhartha. And he was also known as Gautam. Gautam. He was also called as Gautam. Now Gautam, Siddhartha, then he became Buddha. That is how we call him, everybody know him by this name, Gautam Buddha, Bhagwan Buddha. He is the starter or founder of the religion called Buddhism. Buddhism. He is the founder. It started because he was born about 2500 years ago. 2500 years ago. At this time, everything was changing. The Mahajanapadas were growing quite powerful, very strong. And the life of city, villages were changing, were seeing certain changes. So there were many thinkers. Thinkers, Vicharak, are those people who think about something in detail. And whatever comes out, because they think, so whatever comes out is very much essential or helpful for the society. So these thinkers, they want to know that what is the true meaning of life because of the changes in the society. If a person is there, why he has taken birth? Why he has taken birth? So what is the essence? What is the meaning? What is the truth? So Sach kya hai? What is the true meaning of life? So let me tell you that Buddha is belonging, or he belonged to, if you remember, I told you about Vajji. So Vajji was divided into Gana or Sangh. Gana, Sangh. So Buddha, he belonged to Shakya Gana. Shakya Gana. Right? Gana means group of people. So, and he was a warrior caste. That means he is from the second grade of Varnvyavastha, Kshatriya. Kshatriya. Now when he was young, he just left the comforts of his home. And means he could have lived a good life, but just to get knowledge, just to get Gyan Prapti ke liye, in order to get knowledge, he just left his home. As I said about the thinkers, he talked to thinkers, he tried to get the knowledge, but finally he decided, okay, now I am going to find the truth myself. So I'm going to tell you the place. It's Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya, it's in Bihar. It's in Bihar right now. So there is a peepal tree, peepal ka ped. So he sat doing meditation for days and days, and he got the entitlement. Inhe gyan ki prapti hui. He got enlightenment, he got the truth, he got the knowledge. So this round circle, wherever you see behind any god, that means he is intelligent, he has got the essence of life. So now he was wise, so people started calling him as Buddhiman. So Buddha, that is how this Buddha word has originated from. Now from here, Bodh Gaya, he went to Sarnath. Sarnath is a place near Varanasi, Banaras, Sarnath. And then he gave the teachings, and different places he traveled, and finally he was teaching people in Kushinara, and he died. Kushinara and Kushinagar are same. So this is Bodh Gaya. This is Bodh Gaya. He got enlightenment. Then he went to Sarnath near Banaras, and then he went to Kushinara or Kushinagar, where he passed away, died. Now every god, may it be Islam God or Hinduism God, any God, every God has the teaching, and the teaching is to be good, to become good, only for good. No dharma says do this thing bad. Okay. So what Buddha has given, what he has taught, so that so many people are following him, started following him. So he just said that whatever, if you are suffering, if you are unhappy, that means this is just because you have craving, you have desire, you want things, you always want something more. That means, I'll give you an example. If a person is walking, he wants bicycle. If he gets bicycle, he want bikes, then he want car, then he may want big car, he may want truck, he may want flight. So this will never stop. I'll give you an example of, we have Ambanis, and they are Anil Ambani. He is the fourth most richest person of the world. What will happen if he even reaches number one? He will always want money. He will always make money. So this is how, if you are not satisfied what we have, and that is called Trishna, Lalach, wanting, craving, desire, always wanting, that is Tanha or Trishna, right? So some want to eat, some want to get stuff, some want dress, some want women. All these are the desires. And these desires are the basic problem of everything. Root cause. So he said, the animals, living people, every living being has to be treated with solace, with all the respect. And whatever karma you are doing, karma means the actions, word, whatever you are doing in your life. So for this life also, and for post life also, zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi, for this life and for next life also, you are going to have to pay for it actually. If you do good, you will be rewarded. Otherwise, you have to pay for it. And one more thing he did is that whoever is sitting here, he actually taught them, gave his teaching in Prakritic language. Prakritic language is just the local language. For example, in Magad, the language will be Magadhi. So this is the bhasha or language of the local people. So everybody understood. That is how these people followed him, and they started becoming monks, Buddhist. So wherever these monks go, followers of Buddhism are monks who follow purely Buddhism. So these people, when they become monk, or wherever they go here and there, or wherever the teachings of Buddhism is there, so I'll give you certain places. This is the Sanchi Stoop, Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, Sanchi, and that is the Raisen district. If you see this is a Sarnath Stupa, and this was made because Buddha gave his first message here. Stupa, Sarnath, first message, first teaching, Updesh was given here. One more thing I'm going to tell you, that Buddha said everyone is intelligent. Now don't just follow me like this. Whatever I say, you do it. Means you perform it. If you think that what I am saying is correct, then only believe it. Otherwise, you are free not to believe me. That means whatever I am saying, andhadhun, don't vishwas, right? I'll tell you a story about Kisa Gotami, very famous story. What happened? There was a woman, and the child, the kid of this woman died. And a woman will die, by heart, by mind, if you have created somebody and he has died. So the kid died. The woman was running here and there, and she just wanted that this kid should come to life. And then she visited Buddha. Buddha, she said, Buddha, you're so great. Now you just give this life to my kid. Buddha said, okay, go and get me some mustard, handful of mustard. If you bring it, I'll bring your child back to life. Now she starts running for the mustard seeds. Buddha says, okay, bring it from where that home where not a single death has taken place. And Kisa Gotami understood that there is no house in this world where death has not taken place. If you are born to die. You will die today, tomorrow, or wherever. So you have seen about monkey. Monkey always, whenever the kids of monkey die, she will keep her with her always, until it starts smelling like this. Now coming to Upanishad. Now let me take you again back to the thinkers. Thinkers were there, Vicharak, those people who were deeply thinking about certain stuff. That is, after death, what is going to happen? What is the life after death? Is it life after death or not? The dharmic anushthan, the sacrifices, the yagyas, what all these are going on? What are the use of these? Why are we doing all this? So all these thinkers, when they thought and their conclusion they draw, they wanted to try to find out that what thing is permanent, because if you are there you will die, but what is the permanent thing in this world? So all this discussion, all this recommendation came, and finally it came that Atma, in a body there is Atma, and this is also called as Brahma. Atma is Brahma. So when also some people said that a person can die, but the Atma will remain. It may take another body, but Atma or the soul, universal soul, Sarvabhaumik Atma, universal soul will remain. So all these all these discussions were written in Upanishad. They were recorded, they were written in Upanishad. So whatever discussions were made was written in Upanishad. So Upanishad, the literal meaning of Upanishad is sitting near your God, sitting near your intelligent people, wise people. This is approaching and sitting with them, Sameep Baithna. This is Upanishad. Okay? So all these things are being. There are six schools of Indian philosophy which is famous all around the world. Big people, big thinker who created certain philosophy. Darshan. 6 schools of Darshan philosophy. The first is Vaisheshika. Second is Nyaya. This is the second philosophy. Third is Samakhya. Third philosophy. Then Yoga. Then Purva Mimamsa. Then Vedanta, or it was also called as Uttara Mimamsa. Now these are all the philosophy or field of philosophy. Now who actually started it? Who are the Janak who gave birth to this philosophy? The sages who created it. Vaisheshika created by Konada. Nyay by Gautam, Samakhya by Kapila, Yoga by Patanjali, Ramdev Baba, you know, he has Patanjali, he owns Patanjali. Purva Mimamsa, Jaimini. Then Uttar Mimamsa by Vyas. Okay, remember these. Now there is one more story of wise beggar, Buddhiman Bhikari. Shaunaka and Abhipratin, they were sages and they were worshipping the universal soul, that is the soul which is everywhere, the Atma which is everywhere. Okay, so they were worshipping them. Now came a beggar. He says, give me something to eat. And these two sages denied. They said, we cannot give you. Now this beggar says that you are doing what? You are worshipping a universal soul. Okay. Universal means it should be everywhere. Yes. Okay. So everywhere means it will be me also. It will be in me also. They said yes. Okay. When it is with me, then you are worshipping me. And if you are worshipping me, you have to give food. Because you are denying food to me, which is the universal soul, because soul is universal. And after that, these two sages has to give him food. So I was just saying that the Upanishad means sitting near the God or big people. So the Upanishad is actually having the conversation between the teachers and the student. So it's a kind of dialogue between two parties. Most of the Upanishad thinkers were, the thinkers were men, and they were also specially Brahmins and Rajas. So those who were written it and those who were involved in the discussion were Brahmins and Rajas. So the poor were not there and the women were also not there, but the exceptions are always there. So I'll take the name of women who has created history. A man who has created history. She belonged to very, very, deep caste, or you can say poor caste. So women, she is Gargi Vachkanavi. Gargi Vachkanavi. She was a great thinker. She was so much learned and she was so praised because she used to participate in the debates held in royal courts. That is, she used to speak so good. She has all the thoughts. She can debate, she can give counter, she can give all the discussion. Gargi Vachkanavi, please remember this. Gargi Brahma, Gargi. Now there, as I said, women was also there, but poor men was also there. So those, I'm giving you the name, it's Satyakama Jabala. Okay? And the name, because his mother, she was a slave, woman called Jabali. That is why his name became Satyakama Jabala, because of his mother. Now, he was quite poor, and a Brahmin teacher, he was called as Gautam. He is a different Gautam, and he took him as a student. And then he gave the Brahmanvad to him. So the ideas of these Upanishads were later also developed and propagated by a very famous thinker called Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. Now there is one more name I want to highlight here, Panini. Now Panini, you need to keep in this mind, he was Sanskrit grammarian. He created, or you can say he actually combined all these grammars, etc. and Sanskrit grammar, he is a creator. Panini. Coming to Jainism. Now the last and the 24th Tirthankara of the Jainis, and his name was Vardhamana Mahavira. The last and 24th Tirthankar of Jainas. So he also spread his message, gave his Updesh around 2500 years ago, same time, almost similar time as Buddha. He was also belonging to Kshatriya. Actually, he was a prince. He was a Rajkumar of the Lichavis. And this Lichavi belongs to Vajji Sangha. I told you about Vajji. Vajji has Gan and Sang. So he was from Vajji Lichavi Sangha. He was a Kshatriya prince. He belonged to that grade, Kshatriya. So Vajji Sang Lichavi Sang, right? He was a prince. He was a Rajkumar. At 30 years of age, very tender age, he just left to the forest in order to get the knowledge, truth. After 12 years, he attained the enlightenment. This round circle means he has been enlightened. So he got the truth, he got the actual knowledge. So what teaching he gave? It's very tough. He taught that it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. If you want to get truth, if you want to get enlightenment, just leave home. Just leave home, right? And everyone has to follow ahimsa, that is no fight, no killing. You cannot hurt any living being or kill any living being. It can be man, it can be animal or whosoever, insects, anyone. Everyone wants to live. Everyone has a desire to live. Now, this teaching was given in Prakrit, that is the local language. As I said, that Magadhi, right? So, because of this, most of the people could understand what he's saying. So, who all are following Mahavira, that is Jaina Dharma, so they were called as Jain, Abhishek, Jain, like this. So followers of Mahavira, Jainas. And the lives are quite simple. They are begging. Bhiksha. They are taking food or everything of their living with begging. So they are not going to steal. They will be honest and imandar, dayalu. So if you see, Jains are always respected. And they will follow celibacy. That means no sex. No means brahmacharya. You cannot be with a woman or women cannot be with men. And everyone except, not women, but men has to leave everything. Also the clothes. It was very difficult, the Jain was quite difficult following. So some people followed, some didn't. So Jainism was supported by traders. But the farmers couldn't, because they had to kill the insect to protect the crops. The word Jaina comes from Jina. Jina means Vijeta, conqueror. So as I was saying, the farmers need to kill insects. So it went to this religion went to North India, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, various places, right? Now what we have today is what the written down form is presently available at a place in Gujarat that is called as Vallabhi, right? Vallabhi, Gujarat Vallabhi. So all these teachings, etc., long back 1500 years ago, Gujarat Vallabhi, we get the written down form. So now what are these Sangha? So now we are combining Buddha and Mahavira because most of the things are common. So we are talking about Buddha and Mahavira, and the basic thing is to leave home. So once they leave home, where are they going to go? They are going to go or assemble at Sangha. Sangh. That is association for those people who has to stay somewhere. So the Buddhist Sangha, you will find this in the book called Vinaya Pitaka. Most of the content you can understand using Vinaya Pitaka about what was the Buddhist Sangha at that time. Men will live different, women will live at another place, right? Now, if you want to join Sangha, then you have to take permission. Like children have to take permission of parents. You are a slave, you have to take the permission of master. And if you are working for the king, you have to take permission from the king. Okay. Then If you're taking some credit, or you are debtor, you are in debt, you have to take the permission of the creditor. Women has to take the permission of the husbands if they are not single. So these men and women, when they joined Sangh, they would live very simple life. You see, they are quite, and most of the time they were doing dhyan, meditation. Most of the time they are doing meditation. And then there is a time, say for example 12 to 2 in the afternoon time. They'll go to the city and villages and they'll ask for food. That is, they beg. They will ask for bhiksha. That is why they are called as bhikkhus or bhikkhunis, because they were asking for bhiksha. So bhikkhus and bhikkhunis are the name given to them. After that, they will also do something. They'll give the teaching, and if somebody is fighting, they will solve the problems. All this settlement of the problem they can do in the Sangha. Now, whoever comes to Sangha, it included Brahmins, Kshatriya, merchants, laborers, barbers, courtesans, and slaves. So all of the different community people can come here in Sangha. And what happens? I'm talking about Jain, Buddhist both. So they made monasteries, viharas. So previously, that very 2500 years back, bhikkhus and the bhikkhunis, they used to go to different places to teach and to give upadesh, and also. So in the rainy season, what will happen? Very difficult to live. So these are the caves we find. They were living here. Kale in Maharashtra, we have that example. Monks and nuns, they used to take shelter. But the time changed, the supporters, they started making permanent houses, permanent shelters for the monks and the nuns. And this place is called as monasteries. They are called as viharas. Vihars or monastery. Monastery is generally used for Buddhists. Vihar is generally used for the Jainas. So this they made starting from wood and brick. Now Buddha told one important thing, that like the rivers, they have different names, but when they come and join a single main river, there is no name left. So even if you are Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra, Kshatriya, whoever, if he or she comes to Sangha or to monastery or become monk or bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, then there will be no Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. There will only be us. There is no casteism here in Buddhism. That is why you see most of these SC people, scheduled caste people, they are following this Buddhism. So most of the these viharas are donated by, the land is donated by the merchants and landowners. So people would come, they would give food, clothing, and medicine to these monks and nuns, and they will get the teachings in return. So when this Mahavira and Jain, these things were going on, this religion was growing. So in Sanatan Dharma or Hindu Dharma also, there was a discretion, or there was a categorization of different ashrams. That is, different time, different ashram. Brahmachar ashram, that is, there is no sambhog, that is a younger age. Then you go to Grahastha ashram, you can do reproduction with a family, have a family life. Then after that, Vanaprastha ashram, you go to the forest, you live there, do meditation, and finally you will become a sannyasi. You will leave everything. These are 4 ashrams. So what all were going elsewhere? I'll talk about Iran. You might have heard about Bora Muslims, Aruna Irani and Boman Irani. Why they are Irani? Because they have come from Iran. So all their purvas, their ancestors have come from Iran. I'll tell you that this Iran, they have in India, they have come, the Iranis have come in Gujarat and Maharashtra. So how it started? Iran, see, if this is India, I cannot make very good drawing, but still I can give you an idea. If this is Kashmir, this is Pakistan, this is Iran. So this Iran In Iran, right now, it's Shia dominated place. But at that time, Zoroaster, Zarathustra, he was an Iranian prophet, Paighambar, Iranian prophet. And the teaching of his was written or is available in Zindavesta. Zindavesta. So the basic teaching was good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Everything you do good. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Right? So Zindavesta it was there. Now this Zoroastrianism or Zarathustra, it came to India. This is the mark, this is the signal, or you can say the indication. And as I said, mostly they are Shias, less Sunnis. But these Zoroastrians, they migrated to different parts of the world. Some came to India. And now all these Parsis, which we know, their ancestors were these only. So this is all about this chapter. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.